Aren't you at least a little small? Like a 5-year-old? I think it's a good thing for the family. Do I want to do it terribly? Take it or leave it. But I think it's a good thing for the family. I'm assuming she's the fourth.
Welcome to the world-renowned Carter the Great Theater. During the performance this evening, please, no photography or video recording. Tonight's featured show is about to begin. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the magic.
Our featured performer has entertained audiences on 6 continents, from the Hollywood Magic Castle to the London Palladium, with thousands of theaters, cruises, colleges, corporate and private events in between. Please welcome back to the House of Cards, your Chief Impossibility Officer, Joe M. Turner.
All right. Good evening. Welcome. My name is Joe Turner. I'm so glad you're here at House of Cards in Nashville. It is one of America's premier magic theaters. My job for the next 25 minutes or so is to amaze and astound you using a number of the magical skills and abilities that kept me from dating in high school. So this is going to be really fun for you and kind of a tragic flashback for me, but we'll just get through it together, and therapists will be waiting outside when we're done. When I was a kid, I wanted to learn how to do magic. All the books said you should start by taking a coin out of your mom's purse, your dad's change, just put it on the back of your hand, see if you can open and close the fingers without dropping the coin. It's not magic, it's just really to develop a sense of balance, a sense of the musculature of your hand and your fingers, some spatial awareness. Then the book said put it on the first finger, try to isolate the muscles of the second finger and flip it vertical and let it flop over to the next finger, and to do that with all of the fingers. The book said if you did this every day for 5 or 10 minutes, over time it would get smoother and faster and faster and smoother. And the book said that if you did this long enough, people would clap. Apparently you couldn't see, sir. Good, so you can see. I just hate to leave anybody out. I'm real glad you like it. 24 minutes to go. No, my friends were like you. They were like, well, that's cool. It's obviously dexterous, and you've developed a skill that really has no use, but it's not really magic, is it? Magic is more when something disappears from one place and reappears somewhere else, right? Where you might put it in one part of your body and it comes out somewhere else. Not a pleasant trick to think about. My friends also didn't clap for that. They were like, well, clearly you're using sleight of hand. You're hiding the coin somehow between your fingers, or maybe behind your hands somehow, or maybe up your sleeve. If only you had some kind of barrier made of steel or titanium or silk, that when you put the coin in there, then it couldn't go through your fingers, it couldn't go behind your hand, it couldn't go up your sleeve. Then and only then, if it disappeared, might we believe it was truly magic. And that, my friends, it's a pretty dang good trick for a 6-year-old. So yeah, not much action in high school. However, by the time I got to college and I could, oh yeah, now he's good. Thank you. Got invited to some parties. Looks like I also found the level of this room. So that's, it's Friday, that's great. I'm so glad Friday night audiences are so enthusiastic. It's the beginning of the weekend, and you know, just please, just if you're gonna throw something, don't make it clothes, make it money. That's fine. Well, for you, man. No, just kidding. You just laughed at the wrong moment. So, you heard in my title, Chief Impossibility Officer. Most of the work that I do is speaking and emceeing at corporate events. So, I may look like a very mild-mannered act here, but at a conference, I'm like a rock star. And so, I'm going to call this meeting to order. We have 3 items on our agenda. The first item we're going to cover is traditional conjuring, sleight of hand, visual illusions. You may have enjoyed some card magic, coins, close-up magic from Gary, Rampton, and Mark tonight. I hope you have. If you haven't, see them afterwards. But most of us are familiar with that. I'd like to do some of that visual magic, but I want to involve some people in the room. I'm going to start with the gentlemen. Are there any men in the room who are wearing a wedding ring? Or a class ring, or a signet ring, or a fraternity ring, or a Masonic ring, or something like that. Is someone wearing a ring that I could borrow just for a moment? We got one right here. What's your name, sir? Thomas. Might I borrow that just for a moment? Oh, and it just came off, so that was great. Thank you, Thomas. I'm going to put it on my finger so that there's no accidents. How about over here? There are gentlemen maybe on this side of the room who might have a ring on his finger. We got someone gesturing right here. And your name, sir? Garrett. Garrett, that's great. How about in the back? How about in the, oh, we've got someone volunteering, someone back here. Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Eli.
Eli, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
So we've got 3 rings from 3 gentlemen who loaned it to me before I even said what I was going to do. That's okay. 3 varieties of metal and style. We're going to try to cause something interesting to happen. For most of us, it will be a magical metaphor reminding us of the importance of human connection. And for 3 of us, it's going to be the moment we realized we might be going home with new guys. So let's see. It's low tech here, I know. Let's see. 1, 2. Who's the first? Over here. Do you see your ring? Do you see your ring? Yeah. You do see it? Very good. And that brings me to you were Thomas, right? And I forgot the name over here. Garrett. I should have get back on there. I should have told you about that before. Do you see a ring hanging on the bottom there? And let me turn it back so you can see yours in the back. Eli, do you see yours also hanging?
Oh my God.
All right, so a big round of applause for our friends. The chains of human connection will never be broken, except by a jeweler with a hacksaw. No, just kidding. We're going to try to get these apart for you guys. Let's see, I can't remember. Did yours have the silver on the outside of the band? Yours had that one, the silver on the outside, like the polished. Well, let's see, whose is this? Let's see. It's the solid dark. Is that one yours? That's yours. I'll let you guys fight it out later on. Thank you very much. We've got 2 more. Well, we had a couple that were similar, but that's okay. We've got the last 2. Let's see if we can do this and bring this to an appropriate conclusion for all of us. 1, 2. I'll let you take the one you want. That is the correct one. And that means that this must belong to Eli. And we're going to have a round of applause for our 3 participants who shared their own personal property for your amusement. I mean, I really think they deserve it. So, agenda item 1, box tent. We're going to move on to section 2. a different branch of magic that we call mentalism. Mental magic, psychological phenomenon, ESP, that sort of thing, mind reading. I'll be honest with you, in real life, I don't believe in detailed mind reading. I've been married 29 years. Those two statements are related. But I do believe in strong theater. I do believe that the premise of mentalism is one of the stronger premises available to performers in the theater, because let's face it, this is the last bastion of privacy in our society. They know what's on your phone, they know what's in your email, they know where you went today, they know what's on your browser, they know, I don't even know who they are. Maybe they know who they are, but I don't know. But nobody can poke around it here yet. And so we're gonna pretend along those lines. We'll create a little experiment in that sort of thing. And we'll do it asking the ladies to play this time. So ladies in the room, if you will, in your memory, go back and dig into the earliest memories that you have, let's say of the first pangs of puppy love. You remember that crush, that first crush that you remember? Maybe the kid was in your class or down the street or across the block or church, school, or whatever it was. If you remember that kid's first name, just try to remember that. If that is not something you would be willing to share, then maybe it's because it ended badly, or it's too awkward because of the person you're sitting next to right now. Then instead of a person, think of a city somewhere in the world that you've visited that you would like to return to. And just for the sake of argument, let's not do Paris, since it's kind of in the news. So a person or a city, or if none of those really excite you, maybe you can think of a gift that you received as a child, maybe for a holiday or birthday or something, or even as an adult for a special occasion, graduation or something special. So I'm going to ask three of you to commit your memory to paper. So could I ask you to help me with this? Are you willing to do it? You were making eye contact with me. You look like you've got your hands full. Let me ask you to do this. What's your name?
Lori.
Lori, L-O or L-A-U? L-O, Lori, very good. My first little girlfriend's name is Lori. That's, and how about, you're trying studiously to avoid making eye contact. Would you play? What's your name? Gracie. All right, say goodnight. And that's a dated reference, I've just seen, who knows? Everybody's pointing at other people. They're pointing at you as today. May I celebrate with this person right here? What's your name?
Lizette.
Lizette, with an S or a Z?
S.
With an S. Lizette, if you'll just jot down your memory on there. And so as you jot down your memory, either that person or that place or that gift, just one word, we don't need the whole story, just the one word or so, and close it up, fold it in half and half again. So you fold the card into quarters, all right? And when you've done that, hold it in the air so that we know that you've done it. Lori is folding the second one right there. If you'll just drop it into the outer pocket of my jacket, and I'll take the pen. Let's make sure that it went into the outer pocket. For those of you who are not aware, men's jackets have the inner pocket for the ticket pocket and then the outer pocket. So all the pockets that were supposed to be in all of your dresses, they're in our pockets. But that's okay. And Gracie, if you'll drop your card in the outer part of that pocket, and I'll take the pen. And Lisette, if you'll do the same, drop it right in the outer part of the pocket, and I'll take the pen. Fantastic. Very good. And your name is Garrett. Garrett, you have a very important job now. If you will, I want you to hold up one finger in the air, then put it into the bottom of that pocket, and stir. You can stop there. Thank you very much. The reason I had to do that was not to make you laugh. It's because people were saying, well, he was watching, and she put hers to the front, she put hers to the side, and so on and so forth. So maybe he would know whose was whose by position. But now, Garrett has mixed them up, and I have no idea. Here's the game. I'm going to read one of these out loud. I'm going to ask each of you if this is your memory. You will all say no. That means that two of you will be telling the truth, and one of you will be lying. and I am going to try to determine who is lying. So no matter how I present this to you, you are going to say no, right? Do you understand the rules? Do you understand the rules? Ah, very good. We're playing the game. Okay. So here's the first memory. I'm going to ask all three. You're all going to say no. So you ready? You ready? Ready? Lori, Carl.
No.
Gracie, Carl. Lisette, Carl.
No.
Lisette,
Yes.
Carl.
No.
Lisette, are you sure you didn't choose Carl?
I am 100% positive.
Even though we've kind of gone off track from the rules, I can tell that you're telling the truth. And the way I can tell is because it was obvious to me from the get-go that Lori was lying, and she's the one who chose Carl. Round of applause for Lori. She did great. Brings me to item number 2. I'm not even going to look. If you sort will hold on to that one. People are thinking, well, he can tell by looking at the card, and he knows whose is whose by looking at the card or by the pen or something. So you're going to open this one up, and you're just going to read the memory out for me. What's your name, sir?
Jason.
Jason. What's the memory?
Roy.
Roy? like Royal Roy? Okay. Roy. Okay. I'm going to, now those of you who are mathematically inclined know that my odds have just gotten better. But I'm going to ask Gracie and Lisette if they chose Roy, and they're both going to say no. Maybe you'll be able to tell. Let's see. Gracie, Roy? Lisette, Roy?
No.
Okay, how many think it's Gracie? Nobody. How many think Lisette was the liar? Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious Lisette was overplaying her hand on that. How about an applause for Lisette? You can take that. Gracie, obviously this is yours. May I ask you to help me on stage for a moment to finish this and bring it to a conclusion? A round of applause for the beautiful Gracie. You know, you have a showbiz name, of course, Gracie Allen, who played the Dents in Burns and Allen, but she was the brains. She was the smartest, one of the smartest women in all of show business. Highly recommend you look her up on Wikipedia, read her life story. Brilliant, brilliant woman. Gracie, we know this is yours. If you will, stay right where you are. With your left hand, reach back inside the pocket and grab your card and just hold it in your clenched fist. So we're just never going to bother to open it, okay? Just keep, hold it in your fist and hold your hand above your head, just over, higher than your head. Very good. So you hold it in your hand and think about it. And I will try to take this to another level and see if we can figure out exactly what this memory is. Don't say anything out loud, Gracie. Okay. The first thing I can tell is that you are not thinking of like an inanimate object. So this isn't like a gift, this isn't a car, or I had someone got flip-flops in the earlier show tonight. It was a ring pop. But that's not what you got. You're thinking, I do see a young man. How old is he in this memory? So about 10 years old. Okay, so yeah, middle school, elementary school. So think of this person, and I hope this is a pleasant memory, but not too pleasant. All right, I've committed to my mind, to this board, what I think it might be. In a loud voice, Gracie, who was that young man? Luke, like Luke Duke. I told you I don't really believe in mind reading, but I do believe in strong theater, which is why I wrote the word Luke right here. A big round of applause for Fantastic. Box 2, checked. So we've got time for our final experiment of the night. In order to do this, I need a couple that might be willing to help me together. Are you willing to help me together?
Yes, they are.
They are? I love how people move on from volunteering themselves to volunteering other people around them. That's very good. If you two will join me on the stage. Actually, you know what? You can do this from where you were seated. You can do it from where you're seated. I want each of you to take some of the cards and shuffle them. And we're all going to judge how well you work together as you do this. Interesting. So I'm going to do some play-by-play. They've separated the cards into 2 packets, and then each of them is separating it further into 2 packets and shuffling them together. He's doing that, and she's doing this. So they didn't like take a packet apiece and then share the riffle. They separated it into 2 separate. That's okay. Keep going. Keep going. I'm glad we could be here for you. All right. Once you've got them shuffled, fantastic. And your name, Miss? Anna. These cards are now in the order that you've put them, correct? With some help from Jack. So Anna and Jack. Anna, I'm going to drop the cards like this. You're going to call stop anywhere. Wherever you say stop, that's going to be your card. You ready? Stop. Remember that. Jack is going to double check that for you. So we have 2 lines remembering this card. Got it? Please do not forget the card. If you forget the card, Anna, this is a colossal waste of everyone's time. I was a management consultant in my previous life. We would call this a mission critical task. Now, anyone in this room could learn to have a card selected and put in a deck and shuffled and find it and all that. Most of you probably learned a card trick like that. We're going to raise the stakes. We're going to add levels of difficulty. How about you, ma'am? Please say stop anywhere. That'll be your card. Got it? Don't forget it. What's your name? Gail. I'm Joe. Nice to meet you. Sir, with the skeptical arms folded. I don't like magic. What's your name? Don?
Todd.
Todd, say stop anywhere.
Stop.
That'll be your card. Got it? You want to borrow my glasses? Good. Got it? Thank you, Todd. So that's 3 cards, 3 times as hard as a regular card trick. Oh, this gentleman is looking. Please say stop anywhere.
Stop.
That'll be your card. Got it? And your name? George, thanks for coming. And I'm going to go back to you. What's your name?
Danielle.
Danielle, please say stop anywhere.
Stop.
That'll be your card. And the other 5 people sitting with you are going to help you remember that. Goodness gracious. Very good. So I forgot how many that is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you've got, that's Danielle's card. Let's do a couple more. How about the gentleman over here? Say stop anywhere, sir. That'll be your card. Got it? I'm going to help him remember that. Very good. What's your name? Kevin and Emily, very good. And last but not least, she's like, me. What's your name? Kelly? I-Y-I-E-E-Y. Which one? L-L-Y. Very good. Say stop anywhere, Kelly. Just a little. Tiny bit faster. I'm just kidding. Oh, she's so deliberate. Okay, so she's got a card. So that should be 7 cards. Did you hear her go, now? Is she like that all the time? Very like, no, I know what I want. Nope, I was wrong. No, okay. So 7 cards, 7 times as hard as a regular card trick. Oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be done in a minute. We're going to go over. I'm going to find all 7 cards in amazing and magical ways, working you all into an emotional frenzy. It's Friday night, it's a card trick, finally. So, by the way, people say, well, he's just got all the cards on top. Nobody stopped in the top 6 or 7 cards. You were going up there. You didn't get up there. Nobody stopped at the very top. They're not on the very bottom. I'm not, dealing off the bottom. Some people think I stuck 7 fingers in the side of the deck to remember all the positions where everybody stopped, but nobody stopped. I don't have anything stuck in the side of the deck. Think about your cards. I'm going to find them all. Emotional frenzy. We'll start with Kelly. Do you remember what your card was? Don't say it yet. Do you remember what it was? Yep. Watch carefully. All I have to do is cover the deck with one hand. One card magically turns face forward. Not that one. I didn't say it would be that one. I just said one would turn face forward. And what was your card? Say it. Correct. All right, I wouldn't lie to you for anything. If you spread through, you can see one card is face forward. It is the Queen of Spades. A round of applause for Kelly. That brings me back to, I'm sorry. Kevin, do you remember what your card was?
I do.
What was it?
Ace of spades.
Ace of Spades. That's very good. Ace of Spades. I keep one emergency card in my pocket in case someone chooses the Ace of Spades. Thank you. A round of applause for Kevin. Strangely, the Ace of Spades is the same card Danielle had, right? You had the Ace of Spades?
No.
You had the Ace of Spades, for sure. What was your card?
3 of clubs.
3 of clubs. Well, that's close. Very close. In the interest of saving time, we'll just go to the 3 of clubs there, which raise up. Round of applause for Danielle. Raises the interesting question, though, which is how did the ace get back in my pocket when you guys were watching me on stage the whole time? We'll use the ace and the 3 together to find, it was George. You did not have the Ace of Spades or the 3 of clubs, did you? Well, then we'll use those as a pair of tweezers. What was your card saying?
Jack of diamonds.
Jack of diamonds. Watch carefully. Left-handed. One card leaps from the deck invisibly. Flies through the air invisibly. And is caught between the tweezers visibly. One card lands between those two. It is, in fact, the Jack of diamonds. A round of applause for George. Yeah, that's really good. It's not quite the emotional frenzy, though. So I have a plan. For the last 3 cards, instead of a little applaud after each one, we'll abstain. Let the pressure build. If we get all 3 correct, emotional frenzy. So who was next? It was Todd. Do you remember what your card was, Todd? What was it?
7 of clubs.
All right. Watch my leg. I'll try to do this down here so everyone can see. 7 of clubs. High school. That brings me back to Gail. Do you remember what your card was? What was it? 4 of hearts. To find the 4 of hearts, I need complete silence. Here we go. Six years of college.
Oh my
Four
gosh.
hearts. Hold it. Don't tell me yours. Anna, don't say yours out loud. Just think of it. Imagine it floating in the space between us. I'm going to try to extract it from your mind, just like in agenda item 2. Very good. It's coming to my mind. It is a rectangle. It's a rectangular card. I'm seeing it. I told you I was a management consultant. We start by observing the obvious. That'll be $85,000. It's a black card. I'm seeing a club. If you'll watch carefully, left-handed. One card leaps from the deck, visibly, flies through the air, and lands in my other hand. It's pretty cool by itself. I won't even look. Anna, in a loud voice, what was the card you were thinking of?
9 of clubs.
The 9 of clubs. I'm going to put the whole show in your hands. I'll show it to you, and I'll know if I got it right from the emotional frenzy.
Woo!